Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do 10.7, which is the volume of pyramids and cones. If you remember last time we did the volume of a prism or of a cylinder, and that was the area of the base times the height. This is really similar. It is just the volume is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Not the slanted height, but the actual height. So for a pyramid and for a cone, the exact same thing. So I'll copy that. So basically, if you have 3 cones or 3 pyramids, that will fit into one cylinder or one prism of that same base. So 1/3 of that. I wanted you guys to see that visually. I'm sorry I can't show you this in class, but this YouTube video will help.
We can prove that. Okay, so now that we've worked out the formula and we see mathematically that it takes 3 cones to fill up one cylinder that have an equal base and an equal height, let's go ahead and fill them up with water and see if this actually works out. So here's number 1. As you can tell, there's 1. Let's go again. Here comes number 2. 2. And finally, the last cone, and it should fill up to the very, very top. And here we go. Number 3, 1, 2, and 3. And as you can tell, it is absolutely at the very, very top. If you look at this very closely, you can see that it's at the very top. Again, the formula for a cone is 1/3 pi radius squared times the height, and the formula for the cylinder is pi times radius squared times the height. So we have proved that it takes 3 cones to fill up one cylinder.
Okay, so as you guys could see, if you have a cylinder, which the formula is area of base times height, the cone is just 1/3 of that. So I thought that was neat. For this section, there are 12 different problems. Since you guys have homework today, I don't want to do all 12 of those. But if you would like to pause your video and try any of them at the end, you can. I worked out all those solutions, but we're just going to do a couple of them together. So we'll start with number 1. Again, our formula is 1/3 equals the area of the base times the height. So every base is going to be different. This is a square base. So a square is just length times width, 8 times 8, and then the height is 10. So I can type that all into my calculator. Be careful, the 1/3, don't just put 0.3. That will throw your decimals off from too much rounding. So take the whole number and then divide by 3, or do 0.333333 with lots of 3s. So I'm going to do 8 times 10, divide that by 3, and I get 213.3 repeating. It says to round to the nearest 10th. So we'll do that. And then inches cubed, again, because it's the 3D shape. And that's all there is to that one. Number 2 is very similar. Number 3, they gave us the slant height, and we actually need the regular height. So there's one extra step here. I need to find this height right here. I do know this distance is 0.6 or 1.2 cut in half. And so I can do Pythagorean theorem to find that missing x. So I have 0.6 squared plus x squared equals 2.8 squared. That 0.6 squared is 0.36, and the 2.8 squared is 7.84. Subtract and you'll get 7.48. Square root both sides, and you'll get x equals 2.735. So now that you actually have that height, you can fill it into your formula. So you can say the volume equals 1/3 area of the base, so 1.2 times 1.2 times our height. I'm going to go ahead and type all of that in my calculator. And I got 1.3. And again, centimeters cubed because it is 3D. So number 4 is just like that. I'm going to keep going. I know you guys have a lot of work that you guys are doing, so I want to keep going through this. These are really similar. The only difference here is that you have to take the diameter and cut it in half to find the radius. So I'm going to skip that one. We'll go ahead and do number 7. Number 7 is the same formula. This time we have to remember that an area of our base for a circle is pi r squared. If your diameter is 42, that means that your radius would have to be 21. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in, and the height is 12. That gives me 21 squared is 441. So 441 times 12 is 5292. And if I divide that by 3, I get 1764 pi centimeters cubed. Or if you like the decimals, volume is, to the nearest whole number, 5542 centimeters cubed. So these really just take practice. They're all a little bit slightly different, but still that same formula, volume equals 1/3 area of base times height. We'll go ahead and do number 10. This is a composite shape. So we'll do this. Let me see what color I did it down here. I like to stay consistent. Okay, we'll do this one in pinkish, reddish. And since that's a pyramid, it's going to have that same formula as before. Let's change that to our new color. And so then I'll just do the volume is equal to 1/3. And then the area of the base is just a square, so 10 times 10. And then the height is 13. So that will give me 1,300 divided by 3, or 433.3 repeating. Since that is sitting on top of this box, or I guess I should say a cube, the volume of that is just like this, but it's not 1/3 because it's the whole prism or the whole cube. So just area of base times height for that greenish turquoise one. So for that, the volume would be the area of the base, which is 10 times 10, and then the height is 10, so our volume is 1,000. All I've got to do to get the total, since it's a composite shape, we just have to add the volume. So this one plus this one is gonna give us 1433. They said the nearest whole number, so 1433. And my units would be meters cubed. Because again, we're looking at how much water would fill up this shape, or oil, or that's kind of the point of the volume, is to figure out how much it will hold. So we'll just do one last one. Here's a cone, which our equation is, got it over here, copy and paste it, make it a little bit easier. Sorry for those of you with paper, I would just write that down once. And this time they gave us the actual volume. So we're going to work backwards, and this time we're trying to find this radius. So again, the volume is 1/3. Area of base is pi r squared because it's a circle, and then times the height. The volume in this case is 8 pi, and our radius is x, and our height is 6. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out those pi's. They cancel. And the 1/3 and the 6, those multiply together to be 2. So I have 2x squared. Divide both sides by 2, and I have 4 equals x squared. Square root both sides, and x equals 2. They didn't give us a unit here, so I guess just 2 units. Maybe it's inches, maybe it's centimeters, I don't really know. 2 units of some sort. And that is all there is to it. So really with this, it's more about you practicing it than me showing it to you. So that's why I kind of went shorter on this video. And you guys can look through some of these problems I didn't do and practice if you want. I'm going to go through each one, so if you want to get on my YouTube channel and pause the video and try some, you can. Otherwise, you can go ahead and work on this homework. So if you'd like to pause the video, here's number 1, and here's the answer. Here's number 2, and here's the answer. Here's number 3. Here. There you go, that's it. Here's number 3, and here's the answer. Here's number 4, and here's the answer. Here's number 5, and here's the answer. Here's number 6, and here's the answer. Here's number 7, and here's the answer. Here's number 8, and here's the answer. Here's number 9, and here's the answer. Here's number 10, and here's the answer. Here's number 11, and here's the answer. Here's number 12, and here's the answer. So again, if you just had wanted to pause those, you can go on YouTube and skip around to the ones, pause them, and work on them if you'd like. For extra help, or you can go ahead and start on your homework. Have a great day, guys. Bye.